we're going to talk representation, and then we're going to talk signification, just so that we can get these down, because these are really crux moments for the shift that we see in theory. So typically when we're talking about something, we're like, that thing has a meaning. It means something in the broader culture. So computer, I have a computer. I can say computer and it can mean something, but according to cultural studies and what we start to see from cultural studies forward, even in postmodernism, and this is where postmodernism is weaving in here, even though we're not acknowledging it, what computer doesn't mean anything until I say it in a context. And then once I've said it in a context, the context shapes what it means. So if I say computer and we're doing this in a class, you probably think of computer and schoolwork, computer and D2L, computer and accessing this video, your online courses, your face-to-face courses, all of the different just feelings and understandings and experiences that you have with computer in a given context. And you're getting those context meanings because you're watching this video and you're watching my explanation and you're hearing me in a classroom. So you're within a context. If we were out in the real world, so let's say that we were at like Fourth Wall Comics or something, and you don't have to know what that is. It's a comic book store, really great comic book store. If we talk about a computer at Fourth Wall Comics, you're probably going to think of a very different version of, and you're going to bring different experiences and different feels to what you think of when you think of computer. So when I talked about the black cat and I was like, this is my baby kitty, it's even more than that, because what Hall and then cultural studies are saying is that the context matters. The context helps provide very specific clues. Is it going to be foolproof? No. And that's what's really important. But what they are saying is, one, it's not going to be foolproof, but two, nothing has meaning until it is raised within a context. My computer is just a hunk of metal until I start talking about it in a specific way, in a specific context with specific people. Then, and this is where signification, or this is where representation, now it's represented in a space. And then what we learn are classification systems, and this is where I would argue it's rhetoric, cultural studies is not. I would say that these classification systems are rhetorical. We learn to organize information in a specific way so that we employ the correct classification system at the right time, which is why, going back to my very first example with computer, I'm saying it in a classroom. You're using the classroom to help you understand the meaning. That is you employing a classification system. You have learned, you're very successful at being a student. You have a very strong way of understanding. So a signification map or a classification map for how to understand this certain situation, a very specific way to go through it. You do all of this subconsciously. That's representation, is the ability to do all of that. So then if we bring signification into it, it's how do we do all of that? And so the difference between representation and signification, representation is the what is it, what are we doing, what is the map? The signification is the how. How am I bringing in context clues? What is it that I'm looking for? What is it that I'm trying to understand? I keep bringing in visual examples. That is a practice that is a part of my signification to help teach you what these concepts are and what they mean.